supported by Superior Engineering. Guys, we've got a problem with the Patrol. The automatic transmission, I think I hurt the thing. Now a lot of you guys know and probably seen the video, we went camping, we pulled our very lightweight camp trailer up Mullaney Range, and this thing was getting stupid hot. The EGTs hit 700, so we pulled over and all I could smell was automatic transmission. And ever since then, we've had a metal on metal noise coming from this trans. So we've definitely heard it. Now, I'm thinking that it's the torque converter, but because this is my first automatic and I've never actually pulled an automatic apart, I'm not sure if it's a torque converter. I do have a new torque converter from Wholesale Automatics. I also have the Extreme valve body. So if it is the torque converter, if the automatic isn't actually hurt, we should be able to chuck those parts in and we'll have a semi-built transmission. And obviously we are swapping this motor out to a 4J. So once the 4J goes in, we should be able to boost the shit out of it and the automatic will then handle it. Now, the reason I want to tackle this project head on at the moment before we get the motor in is because I want to know that this transmission is all right before we get the motor. Because if you can imagine, you put the motor in, then you have trans problems. You don't know if it's the motor, the wiring. Just want to sort of make sure that the automatic transmission is not too hurt and that we can continue on with this engine swap. So it's a little bit daunting, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I've been at it for a few hours yesterday and we're basically ready to take the bell housing bolts off as well as take the torque converter off the flex plate, and then we can drop the cross member and take the transmission out. As you can imagine, it's very hard to film under there, so I'm not going to be able to do much under the car. But once we've got the trans out, I'm hoping that together we can solve this problem. We might be able to cut the torque converter open and figure out if the torque converter is the thing that is broken. We might be able to see some wear in there or something. I don't know, never cut one open. I'm going to reach out to a few people on Instagram, put a few stories up to see if you guys at home can actually help me. And yeah, hopefully we can solve the problem of my transmission. Actually, before we start, I want you guys to have a look at this oil because I did a full system flush 1,000 Ks ago. That oil there is brown. It has little bits of metal in it. There was metal on the magnet as well. As far as I know, the only thing that's metal that's in there that wears heavily is the torque converter. I could be wrong about that, but all I know is that oil is absolutely stuffed. So it's not good finding that, but the good thing is we have our new parts over here. So this here is the valve body. So basically this is gonna increase our pressure and make our torque converter work a lot better. So we've got that, and then in here is the main piece to the puzzle. This is the billet torque converter from Wholesale Automatics. I believe it's a lower stall. It'll handle about 1,000 Newton meters, I've been told. So this thing is a bit of a rig. A little bit expensive for these two parts, but once this is done, the automatic will be able to handle all the power we can throw at it, which is very good because I actually want to boost the 4J a fair bit. One thing that's been helping heaps is this book that one of you guys actually sent me, which is very nice. But I've been reading up on how to pull the transmission in here. It's literally got every single bit of information. You see that's torque converter. It's got all the measurements, all the torque specs. So this is like my Bible at the moment. I've read it about 4 times and we're basically just following this to a T and it's helping us pull this box. Right, now it's time to pull the transmission out of the Patrol, and how we're going to do that is with a combination of 2 jacks and a ratchet strap through the tunnel and around the gearbox. Now the strap is only there for safety, just in case the blocks were to fall off the jack. We didn't want the transmission and transfer case coming down and squashing us. So we strapped her up, 2 jacks underneath, unbolt all the bell housing bolts, and just popped it back and then lowered it down safely. As we were dropping it down, we were quickly running out of room, so we did actually have to whack some jack stands under the transmission just to get the blocks of wood out, and then we could actually lower the jacks the whole way down, and then we just drag the transmission out. As you guys probably just saw, I've got the automatic transmission out and it's on the ground. That was a little bit of a mission. I have actually already pulled the torque converter out and you just see me cut this thing open. Now, unfortunately, I can't find any signs of wear basically anywhere. So I'm thinking that the problem that I'm chasing is not to do with this torque converter. I was really expecting to see this really chuffed up here and the back of this clutch here. This is a lock-up clutch, I believe. So that clutch plate there is like a fiber. I'm expecting that to be damaged as well, but can't find anything with the torque converter, which means that today is a bit of a fail. And what that means for this transmission is that it's probably hurt on the inside. Now, it doesn't make oil black normally unless something is getting too hot, which makes me think that the clutch packs are gone, they're generating a lot of heat, and it's turning our oil black. Today is actually Sunday. I'm not going to be able to get onto any auto guys to ask any questions today, but tomorrow what I'm going to do is call up about the converter, see if I'm missing anything. I'm going to call a few automatic shops to see if I can get booked in for a potential rebuild or even just a tear down and check the thing out. What would really suck is if we chucked in these parts that are very expensive into a dead transmission and it actually, all the metal and fiber and stuff went through those parts and stuffed those parts. I'd absolutely hate that. So the only thing that's really left to do is to get this thing here checked out. At this point, I may as well drop the transfer case off the back of this thing just so I can move it around the shed and it's not so cumbersome. I'm pretty confident that we are gonna have to go in this thing and have a look. So I'm gonna quickly take that off now, then I'll probably pack up for the day and make a few phone calls tomorrow. There's only 2 weeks till Christmas, so people are gonna be pretty antsy about packing up their workshops at the moment, which sucks. But we'll see if anyone wants to help us and go from there. Guys, I'm just pulling you out of the video to let you know that Adventure Corp is giving away a 300 horsepower 4J swap GQ Patrol. This thing is an absolute rig. I'm gonna chuck some photos up on the screen now. All you have to do to win this thing is go down to the description below, click the link and enter to win. Now, I really do hope one of you guys that are watching this video win this thing. So good luck and let's get back to the video. Right, it is now the next day and we have come to the conclusion that we are gonna get this transmission rebuilt. Had a look online at a few secondhand ones, and the problem with secondhand is that I can't really trust their servicing life on that box. They're all up around the 200,000 Ks mark, which is exactly what my car has anyway. And at 200,000 Ks, the box is tired, the clutch packs are worn, and we would probably be back in this same boat later on. So we're gonna look at getting a full rebuild, which means I have to strap this thing onto a pallet, send it down to Wholesale Automatics. They're gonna look after me and they're gonna rebuild it sometime next year. So the car is actually off the road now officially. But I wanted to quickly show you guys that I found this inside of the oil. Now this piece here looks like to be fiber from the clutch packs. These little bits here, I'm not sure what they are. They could be old gasket or something, but not a great result. Also flushed the oil cooler out into a clean bucket and I found some more metal fragments in there. So it's just peace of mind. We can get it rebuilt and that way we'll have 200,000 Ks of perfect motoring. Now, I was chatting to Rodney about the 4J conversion that we're doing as well. And with the billet converter that is going in this thing, he said it's going to be absolutely perfect for the 4J conversion. So it makes me very excited. We're going to have a 4J with a fresh transmission, billet torque converter and extreme valve body. This thing is going to rip. And I'm really excited to get this thing sorted out, get it done, get it back in the car. It's going to be so good. Now, because this video was a massive flop, we need a little bit of excitement in the shed. So I'm going to whack this new Bullbar on. Now, this rocked up yesterday. It is a Jimmy bar. I will put a link in the description to find out how you guys can get your own. Now just be wary that Jimmy actually only makes these in his spare time. So if you are gonna put an order in, there is a little bit of a wait time. You're best discussing that with him. But for a bloke that makes this out of his shed, these things are absolutely mint. Look how sick it is. I can't wait to get it on. And I'm not gonna wait to get it on actually. I'm gonna put it on right now, even though the car's not running. Now this will probably have to come off. So I'm not gonna put the winch or the UHF or the spotlights on. But I really just want to see how it looks on the car. All right, now time to get this bar off. These things are actually worth some money. I've been offered about 600 bucks for this, believe it or not. So might go up for sale, might keep it, not sure, but let's get it off. All right, let's get this bar on by myself somehow. Rightio, Bullbar is on, and I am bloody in love with how that's turned out. As soon as I seen it, I knew I had to have it, and the gold with the black hoops just ties this off. And when we run scrubbies into the sliders, you need the black hoops, otherwise it's going black to gold, and it wouldn't have looked good all gold. I think it would have looked good all black as well, but I want to be a little bit different and just run the two-tone, but I think it's just tied in perfectly. Now, the approach angle is the big thing here, guys. We can see a whole 35-inch tyre right there, and I'm only on a 4-inch lift, so the approach angle on this bar is insane. The other thing is I can run the 13XP winch, which basically every other bar on the market for a GU, you can't fit the 13XP premium in there. That was a big selling point for me. I already have the winch. I actually might chuck the fair lead on, and heck, may as well chuck spotlights on as well while we're at it. So we're gonna do the fair lead first. This one is a double one, so it doesn't really fit that well. I might have to get a single one, but whack her on anyway. Last up, we got these steady 7-inch headlights. Righto, I wasn't really feeling the steadies too much because I had this orange ring, but I managed to take that orange ring off and it looks 100 times better. The only thing I'm not sure is if I actually like the look of spotlights. I've never really been a fan of them. I actually kind of prefer a light bar on a bull bar like this. And I don't really do too much night driving, so they're just a bit of a wank at the moment. But other than that, looks bloody mint. Absolutely stoked with the bar. The runva fair lead, we'll have to change that out for just a simple black one that's not a double fair lead. As you can see, it's just not designed to take that double fair lead here. It's just kind of cut off on the bottom, but anyway, the rest of it looks pretty good. I am very happy with the look of the bull bar. I definitely think it's tied off very, very nicely to the car. And once we get the scrubbies and the brush bars sorted, she's going to look bloody mint, boys, I swear. But anyway, that is basically all we're going to get done. I need to load that piece of shit up onto the Triton so I can take it to work tomorrow and chuck her on a pallet, send it down to wholesale, get that sorted next year. Hopefully we're getting the 4J in the mail quite soon so we can start on the conversion and rip this ZD out. Once that ZD is out, it's only a matter of time before we bang the 4J in it, and then we can bang some gears with our new transmission. But anyway, if you guys want one of these bull bars, the link for his Instagram will be in the description and you just send him a message. And also I want to say a huge thank you to Rodney from Wholesale Automatics for helping me sort out his transmission, because it was a bit of a headache yesterday. I've been researching stuff all night. I was actually thinking about rebuilding it myself, but I don't really want to go down that path. So I definitely trust the guys at Wholesale too. They do bloody good work. I've been following them on Instagram for a long time. I do get to watch behind the scenes on their Instagram and they do some bloody good work. So I definitely trust those guys with my trans. As for this video, I am going to end it here and go inside. Thanks so much for watching. We have our new hats in stock on the website if you want to grab one of those. We also have stickers and some other stuff. Also, I'm sorry that this episode was a shit show in terms of preparation, but sometimes this is how it goes in my shed, and this is just going to be pretty much a vlog style episode of what I got up to over the past 2 days. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next episode. If you like the video, drop a like. If you want to, drop a comment, and catch you guys later.